Well, hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria wishing you a happy Scorpio season. Welcome to Scorpio season. I decided to do something different, and I'll tell you why in just a few moments. But I do want to talk about the archetypal expression of Scorpio, all things Scorpio, since we're in Scorpio season beginning today on October 23rd. So, first of all, if this is your first time popping by the Soul Nurture channel, I am Victoria. This channel is what do you call it? A work in progress, as we all are. But it is my soul offering to anyone out there who is on a transformational journey, who is seeking, who is on a spiritual path, who is curious about the great mysteries of life, who loves soul work, transformational processes. You're in the right place. Stick around. So you may watch other videos, or maybe you just feel a draw to me right now and you want to go ahead and subscribe and stick around for a little bit. As I said, this channel is unfolding. I started it in 2020 with the intention of bringing my transformational tools to help us navigate the transformational experience we're all in. And then I took astrology. That is something that came to me when I was a kid, 9, 10, but started studying around 15 and put it away because I just, for many reasons, until I pulled it back out of the closet and said, this is a tool from God. I believe it's a transformational tool. It's a guidance tool. And so I do talk about astrology on this channel. It is not my first modality, but it is a passion of mine. And I know that a lot of you are drawn to it because it helps us navigate this beautiful gift of life, right? So welcome. And I can't believe it's Scorpio season already. So happy birthday to my Scorpio soul friends out there. If you were born between roughly October 23rd and November 21st, but again, we'd have to look at it ephemeris to make sure if you're on the, sometimes the sun moves into Scorpio sooner or later and X is earlier or later. So it's not exact on the calendar every year. So, but anyway, I want to do something different because I've been getting a lot of emails asking people, can you teach more about astrology? And I'm honored by that request. Like I said, it's not my primary modality. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a spiritual director. I'm a soul guide. I do a lot of soul work. There are a lot of great astrology teachers out there. If you want recommendations, send me an email at thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. Be happy to do that. But I also am happy to teach what I can. So I'm starting these, I'm going to do it once for every season. I'm going to dive in deeper to the sun signs first, and just kind of roll those out organically. In January, probably, I'm going to do a moon series because I think the easiest way to learn astrology is to follow the moon, to track your emotional responses, to notice what's going on in the world. That's the easiest way. What phase of the moon, all that. So we're going to do that in January, I believe. And for me, the way that I learn and continue to learn is to track myself. Know your own chart. Look at your chart. Go to astro.com, or there's lots of free services. You can get your own chart, have your chart read by someone like me. I'm still offering the 20-minute consultations, and we could peek at your chart. I can give you a little guidance to how to continue to connect to your chart, learn from your chart. And then mostly you're tracking the astrological weather. You're just noticing, how are you feeling when the moon is in where it is? So, and when it's a certain season, we're in Scorpio season, all things Scorpio. So whether or not you're a Scorpio sun or a Scorpio moon or a Scorpio rising, which you will feel this more deeply, we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. Okay. And we all have Pluto somewhere in our chart, which is, Scorpio, in ancient times, and it was ruled by Mars, but then Pluto was discovered. And to me, in modern astrology, that is the ruler of Scorpio, and it couldn't be more perfect it's like they're synonymous to me, Scorpio and Pluto. But Scorpio gets a double, Mars and Scorpio, Mars and Pluto. So you may have Pluto conjunct your sun or moon, and so you could feel very scorpionic. But I'm going to do something a little different as we get into Scorpio this is the way that I still like to play this way. Like I'll be watching a movie, drives my husband crazy because I get the phone out and we're watching an interview or a conversation with someone, and I'll look up their chart first. And this is what I want to invite you to do today as I talk about the people who are Scorpio suns, moon, and rising. What do you feel into when you think about these people? What do you know about them? What's your emotional connection to them? What does your intuition tell you? What are the characteristics, the qualities of them? This tells us what Scorpio is like in a personality and energetically, right? So before I get into the archetype, I want you to be like, maybe get a piece of paper and a pen. And when I say the people that I read off the list, write down 3 qualities about them that you would associate with them. Okay. And then I'll give you some of the qualities of Scorpio traits. This is how we learn, right? It's really soul tracking. You're trusting your intuition. You're noticing the, astrology is a symbolic language. So you're noticing the symbolic expression in people in the time of the year. Like right now, think about in the Northern Hemisphere, what's happening in nature. This is a clue, and I'm going to get back to that in just a moment. So let's play this game, okay? I may, if this works out, I may do it this way. I'm always looking for templates that work, but let's try this. Okay, you ready? Hopefully you'll know some of these people I picked, and if you don't, go and Google, famous people that are Scorpio sun. So first, we're going to go with the sun, and get a sense to, and some of you younger folks may not know this person. I hope you do, because she's a gem, and I hope you know her work. And it is Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg was born on November 13th, Scorpio. She's very Scorpionic. I actually know a personal story about her that I won't share, but very Scorpio. Let me just say it had to do with her claiming her space and owning her space, so think about Whoopi, think about the qualities. If you watch her on The View, if you've seen some of her movies, or you've listened to her comedic stylings in the past, what does she feel like to you? What qualities? What 3 qualities? Okay, Pete Davidson. What do you first think about when you think about Pete Davidson? I know what some of you are thinking, but write them down. Okay, Joaquin Phoenix. Okay, think about Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, as an activist. Kris Jenner, the Kardashian mom. What do you know about her, sense about her? And again, here's the thing. Your soul is always gleaning information. Whether you know them or don't, there's some kind of resonance. What's that feel like for you? Katy Perry is a Scorpio, and Julia Roberts. Okay, so I'm going to go through these, and then I'm going to tell you some of the qualities I see in them that definitely are Scorpionic. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Our sun sign, remember, if you watch this channel, I talk about, our sun sign we don't lead with it. We lead with our rising sign. And that's the first impression. It's the persona the mask we wear to interact with others. But our sun sign is where our vitality, it's connected to our purpose, where we bring our light towards purpose. So think about these folks and what they do. There's another sun sign that I wanted to mention, because she's so Scorpionic. If you've read any of her poetry or you know her life story, Sylvia Plath. Okay, this should give you a big clue here. Okay, so those with moon in Scorpio. Now, moon in Scorpio, this is our emotional nature. So I usually, when I try to guess somebody's sign, I usually pick up on the moon or their rising, okay? Because their moon is our emotional connection, and I'm very intuitive, so I connect emotionally. So feel into these moon and Scorpio people. Ready? Okay. Beyonce, moon in Scorpio. Lady Gaga, moon in Scorpio. This one will give you lots of clues. Jason Momoa. Okay. What do you feel? What are the qualities that come to mind? And just trust your instincts. Okay. Instincts is a key Scorpio word. Rising sign. Remember, persona. These folks led with this. They created a persona around the energy of Scorpio. Prince, Nicole Kidman, Aretha Franklin. I'm sure there's a bunch more that I'm not thinking of right now. And like I said, so let's just stay with the characteristics, the qualities, the archetypal expression. What qualities do you have? Now, let me go over some of those. When I think of, let's see, Whoopi Goldberg, very passionate about her work. She is very, she can transform into characters, very much so. Pete Davidson, everyone's always curious, like, how does he get all these gorgeous women? That steamy Scorpio sexuality, surprising, magnetic, sexuality. Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, he literally transforms into the character that he plays completely. You don't even see the man, you see the character he's playing. So now, and those of you who know me, what's your impression of me from this channel? Of course, I'm probably leading with my persona, and I'm doing a video, so my Leo moon is going to shine through more. But do you sense any Scorpio in me? And if you are a Scorpio, what do you resonate with as a Scorpio? So let's talk about it. But just talk about some details, which is, with learning astrology, you want to learn the details of Scorpio as a water sign. It's a fixed sign. I already said it's ruled by Pluto and Mars. Okay, so let's see here. Let me go down here. And then when you look at your chart, you want to look at where Scorpio rules, which house Pluto. Take two. Don't edit. I keep going. Which house Scorpio rules? In my chart, this is why I'm really have a lot of Scorpionic energy. It is my midheaven. It is right smack dab. My sun is right there at 14 degrees Scorpio at the top of my chart. So that's my soul call. And, soul calls for Scorpionic people are, like the healer, the transformational person, the soul guide, the trauma work specialist, the grief worker. And I definitely, I was a grief counselor for years and definitely do transformational work. And so where Scorpio, whatever house Scorpio is on for you, say it's your first house, you're gonna feel, well, that's your rising. How about second house? That's all things Scorpio for the second house. Resources, how you earn money. It's another indicator you could earn money doing transformational work. Intensely, obsessed with money and focused on it, right? And Scorpio ruled by Pluto, it's like connected to powerful ability to generate a lot of money, right? Okay, so here are some things I wanted to mention. Okay, so some of the archetypal expressions of Scorpio, what mostly they're known as the shaman. And I already mentioned transformational. It's connected to death and rebirth and deconstruction and depth, deep, like Scorpios swim in deep, deep waters. They're known to be able to dive deeply, and they're not, they don't like shallow, small talk. They want to talk about something that is purposeful, transformational, mysterious. Scorpio is connected to the great mystery and shadow. In fact, this is the time of the year. It's a really good time to do shadow work. The shadow side, speaking of shadow, of Scorpio is jealousy. Scorpionic people can be hard to read, kind of a poker face. Did I do the moon? Yeah, Lady Gaga came to mind because my poker face, that song, right? Scorpionic. You can't get behind the mask they're wearing because they want to read you, and they can. Scorpios are like the human lie detectors, and they can X-ray vision into people. And I often say the good news about being a Scorpio is I can see and feel everything, and the bad news about being a Scorpio is I can feel and see everything. So, but they don't want to be seen completely, right? Scorpios always keep a little bit of mystery about them. So they have great instincts. They're survivors. I have found through my work in this work, and that this is a sad sad truth to share that a lot of people who have prominent Scorpio in their charts have had sexual abuse. And I find it over and over again when I look at charts, my chart included. So, that's the scorpionic energy. And so trauma workers, right? Because Scorpios go deeply into the experience. We're all wounded somewhere, where Scorpios go deep, and their wounding creates deep capacity, great capacity to hold sacred, deep space for others. These are the folks that you call in during a crisis, during trauma. They can hold that space for you. So some of the shadow side, so jealousy, hard to read, obsessive, possessive. They can be a little controlling. They can have a sharp sting. They're associated with the scorpion, right? It's interesting. Scorpio has a few symbols associated with them. The scorpion, the snake, because it sheds transformation, and the eagle, that I think of it as the higher vibration of Scorpio, can rise above, see everything, right? See everything, and, but not be attached to it, right? So Scorpios don't easily forgive and forget, especially I find with Scorpio moons, because remember, when a Scorpio is hurt, and emotionally, a moon is emotions, emotionally, it's much harder to forgive and forget. Okay, so I started to talk about soul calls for Scorpionic people, and those are the therapists. Oh, I just went too far back. Okay. Therapists, healers, grief workers, detectives. You ever want to find something out, ask a Scorpio, or, again, Scorpionic person, depending on where their moon is, rising, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I wanted to go back to, in the Northern Hemisphere, what are we noticing right now? What's happening in autumn? What's happening right now? Well, remember I said Scorpio season is about death and rebirth, right? The trees are beginning to shed their leaves, right? They're beginning to move into a cycle. This is the time of the year where we start to move into darkness, right? So trees, my husband's an arborist, so I was asking him about trees, and this is the time when the trees start to shift from photosynthesis, where they're taking in light for energy, and they're starting to move their energy down to the roots, right? All the energy goes to the roots, and then the leaves will begin to, for deciduous trees, not evergreens, but the leaves will begin to shed. Scorpio, that's another word, shedding, molting, releasing. Also, this time of the year is something that when I moved to Washington State, I fell in love with, and it was the most passionate thing I could be, in terms of nature for me. I love all things nature. My husband's into, plant medicines and herbology and all, and I love learning about this. But when I started learning about mushrooms, I was like, I don't know what it is. I kept saying to him, I don't know what it is. I want to know everything about mushrooms. And we started going mushroom hunting, and I was like, hello, they're scorpionic. They're like, mushrooms grow like the mycelium in the dark underworld, right? And they take debris, or they like a dead body, and they break it down, they decompose, they compost it, right? And it's like, and then they create all this rich medicine from it, and they it's transformation is what it is, right? So mushrooms, and they're powerful, right? And they can be incredibly transformational and healing, or they can be deadly, and this is Scorpio, right? There's medicinal properties of mushrooms, and we're learning a lot about that now. I don't know the word. It's the magic mushroom, and I can't think of the word right now, and I should know this, but maybe I'll look it up. But also, I was thinking years ago, and I was going mushroom hunting with my husband, and I think it was on Halloween, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the best trick-or-treating, because when you go mushroom hunting, you're looking, you carry something, like a basket or a bag, and you're looking for them hidden, another Scorpio word, hidden underneath the tree, underneath the moss, underneath the ferns. And it's like so exciting to find these hidden gems. So psilocybin, there it is. Okay, so I mean, there's so much research coming out about the benefits of mushrooms right now. So I say symbolically, they are definitely scorpionic. Okay, so I think that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. Think about some of the qualities we'd associate to is intensity, penetrating, resourceful, resilient. And so, what does it look like for us to be in Scorpio season, especially during eclipse season? And I'm going to do a video. I'm going to try to do one on probably Wednesday night or Thursday, the very latest. The eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Taurus, the last one in the Taurus Scorpio axis for 19 years, is happening on the 28th. So, but we're in this eclipse season, the eclipse portal. And so you may be noticing, a lot of things are being stirred up, brought to the surface. And, you may be feeling like tired, this again, exhausted, depleted. Well, there's a process happening where your body, mind, system is shedding what no longer serves you, shedding, letting go, like the trees, of what's blocking the resources you have for you, what you need. But we're going to go more into that later. I'm starting to dive into that right now. So this is a very transformational time, a time to consider doing shadow work. And I probably will do a video on shadow work too. There's a lot of different information about shadow work out there. I find people talking about shadow work, they think that they're associating just negative beliefs as shadow work, and that's not necessarily true. So I think I'll do a video on that. Okay, any questions? I've been getting questions that I want to cover as topics. What do you want to know about shadow work? What do you want to know about astrology? Like I said, I'm going to offer little videos here and there with more instructional support for you. So thank you for being with me. I'm going to wrap up now. Do comment below. Let me know where you're viewing from, how you're feeling, what you're noticing. What are you tracking in the world? And are you noticing the intensity? Are you noticing, we're in a very shadowy time, a lot of things that we need to look at to heal. We're seeing it on full blast, and it's hard. And so this is a time when transformational intensity is turned up. It's time to do even more self-care. Reach for support if you need it. I'd be happy to support you and walk alongside of you on your journey. Go to my website. It's listed in the description, victoriajazwic.com. Request a 20-minute session. Or really, I want to encourage you for you to know and believe that you're worthy. If you've been thinking, I need a little help kind of breaking through this stuck place, or someone to just hold sacred space for me, please reach out to me. I'd be honored. Take a look at my testimonials. You'll learn more about the feeling of my work, okay? And if you've had a session with me, or a 20-minute consult, or a soul chart reading from me, and you're comfortable, I don't want to, out you, only if you feel comfortable, do comment about what that experience was like for you so others could get a sense of my work. All right. All my love to all of you. And it's my birthday month. My husband, from the first day I met him, I taught him about birthday month. But now that I'm, doing more astrology, I say, oh, babe, it's not just a month, it's a season. So my birthday season starts today. And so does yours, my Scorpio friends. Let me know when your birthday is. And I want to know what you love about being a Scorpio and what's challenging for you. Okay, I'll see you in a couple days. Thanks for being with me. Take good care of you and lean into your transformation, because some powerful your soul essence, wants to emerge through you. And it's time. And you can do this. You got this. Much love to you, and see you soon. Bye.